Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, well, today I'm going to be a little lazy because, trying to write this. Yeah, you guys already know all the projects I'm working on. If you don't, hi, if you're new, Handicapable Black Woman, children's book author, soon to be fantasy/urban fantasy novel author. At the end of the video, you'll see some of the projects and some of my works that are already up, some that will be up soon. And yeah, I talk everything from politics, river of racism, and all of the topics a lot of people are too scared to talk about, or those conversations you're not supposed to really talk about in bars and situations, but I don't really care. And so, yeah, I don't trend because I I don't really chase story. Yeah, anyway. I talk about current events. One day I'll get back to Reddit and so many other random messy things, especially including real life. Who is the villain? How are they the villain? How would such person develop a story? Because yeah, since I'm a writer, I mix current events with writing. And the situation I see here, if this was in a book, if this was in a book. Okay, well, the one of the HBCU bands were formally invited, I don't know if they were formally, but invited to the inauguration. And I was going to first do the video and then listen to their input, but I was like, you know what, let me hear what they have to say. And they pretty much agree. Like, one of the guys at first was trying to give them some, pleasant, just, but yeah, at the end he was like, no, 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 you guys are right. Because the same person who was inviting this HBCU was the same person who created a full page article talking about the Parkland Five and trying to say they must be guilty of that. If they're not guilty of this, they're guilty of something. Then these men were wrongly imprisoned. And oh, it's like, I hope they get some money out of him. Anyways, okay, different. Well, that would kind of make the story even better because after this whole inauguration and things like that, if like while being like, I don't, it's like, especially, I know there's some cases where he could still be tried and some that he can't, but can he actually go to trial while being president for the ones that yeah, I'll look that up because I'm like, I know some of the things are kind of like no, and now some of them he will probably clean out his own record for the most part of the ones he's allowed to. But yeah, because I know he was trying to get the that one reversed for when he tried to put his hands on that woman and everything, and or his hand, his finger, what? We all know, because we all know how he loves to grab women by the, Anyway, but yeah, that would be okay. Well, anyway, he invited this band in order to perform at his inauguration, and like once I saw the title, I was just like, hold up, wait, like, no, 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 no. It's like, especially with the lawsuit back in the day with the segregation and them not wanting black people in their condos. And then again, Parkland Five, and then him calling Africa an S-hole country. And it's like with the whole Black Lives Matter and Colin Kaepernick thing. It's like he keeps showing how he hates our people. He keeps showing how he can't stand our people. All in my opinion. All in my opinion. But in my opinion, all of this is proof of how he really feels about us. And then especially how, like, if you have to have your friends tell people He is the least racist person. He is not racist. He's not. When you keep having to repeat that, when you keep having to have your side pieces, your crew, you're in prison, especially the ones that have been in prison, when all of them have to come together to try to prove to the country that you are not, like, in a way that's kind of a hint. And when especially a lot of his followers are recruiting for the hate groups and they can't stand people of color, like, and that's one thing that really gets me is like, so he's inviting the HBCU band to come and perform. Basically, he's going to use this to his advantage. Fox News is going to use this in their to their advantage. See, he's not racist. See, he's for the good of the people, for all the people. See, he had black people perform. Because I don't want to see this band turn out looking like the Candace Owens of HBCU bands. I really don't want to see this school turn out to be looking like the Candace Owens of HBCU bands, because that's how they're going to be looking in my eyes. But at the same time, I was like, okay, how can we get this story to be interesting? How can we get it to the point where, in my eyes, the villain doesn't exactly get their way? Because remember how with his last rally before the election and voting and everything like that, how he kept saying, "We didn't know about the jokes. We didn't know about jokes." Blah, blah. So part of me is like, okay, so are you not going to know about which songs they are going to play? Are you not going to know about which songs they are going to play? Because if they can get the right song that he will hate, ooh, if they can pick the right song that he will hate, that will be the most delicious patty. Because, yeah, it's annoying that they went, but at the same time, it'd be like, oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Okay, I got you. Like, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it, but just the thought that all of his followers, all the people that are just in awe of him, are going to be listening to this band play a song that he is just going to absolutely cringe and absolutely, like, have a fit over. Instead of being orange, he's going to turn red. That would be absolutely the best patty. And at the same time, one of the hosts, because I hope they don't do it, but one of the hosts mentioned how there's a stadium and another, like, school, like, nearby, that why don't they just go there and then they can have like a HBCU, like, performance competition. And I'm just like, yes, especially being the same week of Martin Luther King and everything like that. Martin Luther King Jr. Come on now. That would be so perfect, so awesome. That would be an arena where, like, especially black people can go and feel safe and feel together and get ready for whatever's coming within this presidency or whatever. Because, yeah, it'll, I mean, I know there's going to be some black people that go to the inauguration. Good for you. Good for you. I'm not going to know any of you, thank goodness, thank God. But yeah, it's like if they could go and perform at, like, with the other band at that arena, that would be the best thing ever. And so then I was also kind of thinking about what other things would be kind of perfect. And I know, like, the Try Guys, I believe it was last year or late 2022. No, late 20 late 2023. Sorry, yeah. It's 2025 now. Anyway, they had a drag queen reading time and they had kids, and it was just absolutely adorable and cute and sweet. And it kind of showed how there's nothing wrong with drag queen story hour. Absolutely nothing wrong at like basically you have drag queens that are reading to children. And so part of me is wondering if on that day, if the Try Guys can do a live with some drag queens and read banned children's books. Like, because to me, like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, that would be so perfect. Because, like, Moms for Liberty, like, that awful organization, in my opinion, they are absolutely awful, horrid, hateful, vicious people, villains in my eyes. It's like they are banning book. Like, there's even, I just heard from, I'm trying to remember the booktuber, but she's absolutely awesome. I know in Florida they started trying to ban this book, and they moved it from nonfiction because it's a nonfiction story about Native Americans into fiction because they don't want kids to know their real history. So they're going to be like, see, this is fiction. White people are always the hero. We're never the villains. We're never going to block like, but they already know what our history is and they already know, but they don't want the palm colored kids to feel bad. It's like they'd rather hurt people of color's feelings, not their own. Yeah. But anyway, it's like, yeah, because there is a specific book. If I can find it, like, if not now, I'll do it pretty soon. But also on my website, I'm going to be having a page all about banned books and links on where you can get them, buy them, and everything like that. So yeah, that's one of the things, one of the reasons why I'm like, okay, finish this novel, website, greeting cards, blah blah blah, whatever. But this one book, I'm like, yes, I am going to make sure I try to find every single type of site that you can get this Native American like book because it's a true story, real story, and we need more of that. Especially, we need our next generation, Generation Alpha, because Generation Z, I don't know what happened to them, but it's like one thing I know is that teachers didn't want to teach the correct history because I know when I went to school, even as a millennial, they didn't want to teach me my history. We got to the page about slavery. Our teacher told us to turn the page. I learned more about African American history from my English teacher, not my history teacher, my English teacher. And it's like because of her, I was more inquisitive about especially African American history and also the apartheid and African American or like African cultures around the world and like the colonization and stuff, especially with the islands and things like that. So, but yeah, it's if we can get the Try Guys to have an event like that on Inauguration Day, I would pop some popcorn and watch that. That would be my entertainment for the day while either writing or cleaning or whatever. It's like some, if they can't do it on that day, because I know kind of short notice and I know they don't know me, like they don't know me, but please Try Guys, if you can get that to be reality or at least around that time, But if you guys know of any other ways where, okay, well, guess what? There's a part two, one over again, but this was totally by mistake. But another piece of proof just landed on my lap like 20 minutes after I did my recording. And this just proves how often Black women are thrown out and just disregarded and used and just this one ha 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 disgusting, like, okay, this is all in my opinion, but he is a disgusting, just despicable, like this heart, like he has no heart. He has no morals. He thinks of himself more highly than a woman or any females. Like, just, okay, watch the video, but just a sneak peek. He thinks that a man should be able to harm a woman, put his hands on a woman to keep her straight. And I've heard this from other guys before. And it's like I keep saying that I know why I'm single, but there were a couple of times where guys were talking to me or they said they were interested in me, but I heard the red flags. I heard some of the guys tell me, like, if I, especially when I was doing promotional modeling, and like I think I was about to start my second master's, one of the guys was like, if I don't get off work in a timely manner, if I don't call him once I get home, then he's gonna have to put me straight and things like that. Yes, like when I say I've been through it, I have been through it. But listening to this no good, idiotic imbecile who is like, parts of me want, I want to know, like, does his mom, is his mom proud of him? Does, like, if a man, or kind of want to know, did his father treat women like he wants to treat women? And when he has a daughter, is he going to tell the man if she doesn't act right, then just knock her out or do whatever, put her in her place? Like, what are you going to do? Or if she's so beautiful, but and she's good at basketball, but if she can't slam dunk, is he going to tell her, oh, honey, just start an OnlyFans page? Be of some use to me, be of some use to the men out there. I mean, from all of his quote unquote jokes, they weren't jokes, they were dehumanizing and awful and degrading. And it just proves, like, some people don't believe me when I talk about some of the things black men have said to me. Yeah, a lot of white guys have said some awful things, but it hits harder from when it's black men, because especially it's majority of the black men who tell me either you date me or you can go to grad school. I cannot go to grad school and date them. And a lot of black men tell me, what kind of man would want a smart woman? What kind of man would want a woman that went to college, because that is a threat towards him and his power and his integrity and his ego and just, or just overall power in a sense. And it's just so disgusting and degrading and awful. But these men are proud of themselves. And especially now, which is, I think one reason why they have such big issues is because women aren't brushing their egos as often now. Because now we are finding out our capabilities. We're finding out that we are able to do, and we are finding out that men are an option. If we want kids, yeah, it's like we're gonna need a man for that. But at the same time, I found from a lot of my female family members who told me do without the man, or like at church they say be married first before you have kids. It's like blending all of the advice and stuff together. It just came to the point where I'm like, I might as well just adopt. And especially having a disability, most people tell me, oh, you don't want your kids to end up like you. And if you have a child and it ends up like you, then that would be because you're selfish. I've heard everything. And so, with that, knowing that there are men like him out there, and after all of the advice I've had from so many women inside my family, outside my family, watching, like, even some of my so-called fake friends who talked about me behind my back so much, but yeah, like they used to be cheesing and be like, "Oh, we're happily married. Oh, we're this, we're that, or whatever." Next thing you know, yeah, you see their, I guess they used to be their husband in another picture. Now with another woman, have, like, she's pregnant, all this other stuff, and then yeah, it's like another one where next thing you know, because people aren't seeing him in the pictures anymore. And they're like, hold up, where's your husband? I miss him. Where's he at? Then they dropped off the, oh, we're divorced now. Yeah, yeah. It's just kind of interesting because some people say something must be wrong with me because I've never been married. But at the same time, yes, I've been through it, but at least mentally, I have learned enough. And I have learned that I'd rather be happy and healthy, or at least more healthy, than stuck in a relationship with a man who never respected me, never thought much of me, and thought that since he is a man and since he has an eggplant in his pants, that his authority is over what I am able and capable of doing. Oh, it's so sad and disgusting, but yeah, people tell me something's wrong with me, and I'm like, okay, I'll accept that. Something that thing that is wrong with me is that I am not willing to sacrifice my sanity. I am not willing to sacrifice my well being, my identity, and who I want to be. I want to be happy. I want to work on, like, you guys already know my goals and dreams, and how many men have ghosted me or wanted nothing to do with me after, like, because I would tell them about my books. I tell you guys about my books, yeah, though, and I know a few of them aren't out yet. I'm working on it. It's called Disability and Mental Health and trying to get my freedom and like, let's, yeah, let's, when doctors are lazy, like if you guys have listened to my videos, you already know. But it's just aggravating with everything else that I've had to fight and go through. And then everyone kept calling me the liar. But then, lo and behold, my mid 30s, oh, you were born with a disability. And then men, especially, like, and I keep dragging black men, but you know what? It's because some of them try to call us their queen, but they will say obnoxious, awful, terrible things like this. It's like when women make it into like the WNBA, like that is an achievement. But then you're gonna say, joke around and say things about being on OF, and or they need to slam dunk or play basketball with like topless or with no clothing and things like that. How disgusting are you? How degrading are you? But some of these men out here who follow in love with this guy says, all of a sudden they get mad when they're single. They're mad because a woman doesn't want to deal with them. I wonder why. Do any of you wonder why? Because I mean, if you know why, put it in the messages. If you don't know why, put it in the hey. All messages are welcome because there are men like him out there who just think women are objects, women are to be used, women are to be like physically harmed in order, like, or basically trained. It's like he wants to treat us like cattle, it sounds like. And but anyways, this is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human. You're human too. And let's just see what happens at this inauguration.